Sailing in run with a contender is almost similar than sailing a laser. Our boat is more long and wide, so more stable, but the technique is similar. For those sailors that come from laser class, it will be certainly easier than for other racers. So you have to sail in full downwind and even more, accentuating the natural roll of the boat to optimize the flow that is created around the sail, which comes from the luff or the leech depending on the moment. In Contender, the boom is forced to stay against the shroud, so you cannot open the foot of the sail more than 80 degrees from the axis of the boat, which limits much the trimming. So the vang become an important tool to set the profiles of the upper portion of the sail that have to be adjusted perpendicular to the direction of the flow. The body movements are very small, because to accentuate the roll you need only a little displacement of your body. But it's important to remember to remain in an active position, mainly because in strong wind you will need to move suddenly to ensure that your boat always remains in balance without capsizing. Marcus Hamilton, two-time Contender World Champion, told me, "The more stable you are, faster you'll go." Then, to have a boat unstable and fast, you need your centerboard up, the boom against the shroud, the vang well eased, and the muscle sufficiently responsive to constantly keep the boat balanced and in equilibrium. Tack from trapeze to trapeze did using tack sticks. Let's see it at a real motion time. A tack in Contender can take less than 7 seconds, and a maximum of 10-12 seconds are required from full speed to full speed. Now we view it again at 50% of the speed. I ease the sheet, then I grab the tack stick over the disc. I start to move the weight afterward. I laugh without moving the weight. I jump on board. I go under the boom. I extend the arm forward to grab the tack stick. I go without hooking. Now I hook on. I take the mainsail sheet. I pull the mainsail. I extend the weight outside and I move forward so the boat returns at the full speed. Let's change angle to see other details. With the foot, after easing the sheet, I put the sheet in the complete. The boat have to remain flat. I grab the trapeze without changing the boat balance. I love keeping the boat flat. I'm going under the boom, so I grab the trapeze from the tack stick and I hook on. I retrieve the mainsail bearing away, so I move the weight toward the boat. This is an overall view in real time. The tack requires less than 11-12 seconds. Let's now divide it into frames. I grab the trapeze. I begin to laugh, helping with the end on the trapeze to move the bow in the wind. I keep the boat with a stable boat balance as the boat laughs, so the boat remains flat. At the beginning of the wind dead zone, I bring the forward foot in the cockpit without having yet touched the ground. I still laugh. I start to place the center of gravity, bringing the forward foot on the opposite side of the axis of the boat as much as possible. I recall the second leg. I put my hand on the gunnel. At this moment I leave the wire and I bend under the boom. I exchange the ends. The tiller extension is still on the gunnel of the boat. I am passing under the boom. I begin to extend the body. I reach the tack stick and meanwhile I move the weight out as possible. The rudder is now in the center. I grab the tack stick and I focus on the 10 tails, so I steer the boat immediately to close hold. At this point, I start to roll back the boat. I move the body out, remaining suspended from the arm. I go completely over the edge and finally I carry the boat flat. I hook me on and the boat is started again. Here we are jibing reach to reach. That's a maneuver to do using completely the apparent wind and the acceleration of the boat after a pump. So you should try to do this jibe with a very light pressure on the sails and using the dynamic balance of the boat as much as possible. Now we see the jibe once more in slow motion. The boat is planning at the maximum speed. I veer away and I can move my center of gravity more in the center. At this point, I anticipate the rotation of the boat with the weight. The boat does not have jibed already while it is on the new tack as the wind blows. The mainsail jibes. I grab the wire by the tack stick. I go out. I hook on keeping the boat flat. Meanwhile, the mainsail sheet is in the conflict. Now I grab the main sheet and I begin to pump again. And when I start to pump, I veer away to push the boat planning and surfing. Here I'm maneuvering at real speed. I start to move in advance and passing under the boom, immediately with the weight out, hook me on, I take the sheet, body pump, sheet pump, veer away. This is seen from another angle. Going in when the boat is planning, I jibe the mainsail with the weight already on the new side, hook me on, I go out and I plane away. The jibing run for Contender is inspired by the movements of a single-handed as a Europe or laser. Let's see the slow motion. The crew grab the rope, the boat is headed windward, and with only one roll the weight is on the new side of the boat, and it is heeled over the new windward. So in this way, after the jibe, the boat is back bearing away. The movement of the rudder is minimal. Check it out at real speed. I heel windward, pull the sheet, move the weight on the new windward side, and as soon as I can, I go forward with the weight. The angle is changed again, now from windward. The sheet is in the end, the tiller under the main sheet, heel and roll. And about Contender, that's all.